Hey, it's Jamie from Guildbrook Farm, and tonight is pizza night. I'm going to take you along as I make a gluten-free pizza for our family. This is going to be quick and dirty, guys. I'm just going to show you how I throw together a really quick gluten-free pizza for the family tonight. So let's get started on our crust. You're going to need a bowl, and you're going to need some dry active yeast, not instant yeast. I don't measure anything. Use about 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. We're going to put a little bit of sugar in to feed the yeast, not much. And now we're going to add some lukewarm water, about 110 degrees. If you guys don't know what 110 degrees is with your finger, make sure that you use a thermometer because you can kill your yeast if you make it too hot. All right, that's about 1 cup of water, maybe a little more, maybe about 1.25 cups. And we're just going to let that sit and proof. All right, now we have our gluten-free flour mix. I do make my own flour mix. If you guys want to know how to make this, I'll leave a link to it up above. We're going to use 2 cups and put it in the food processor. I'm going to add a little bit of xanthan gum, and that kind of makes it chewy. That's about 1.5 teaspoons. A little bit of baking powder to make it rise. That's about 1.5 teaspoons. We have some Himalayan pink sea salt. We're going to add a good amount of this in here and give it flavor. And now we're going to blend all these dry ingredients together. We're going to add an egg to kind of bind it together because gluten-free flour doesn't have any gluten in it, so it needs some binder. And we're going to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. That's probably about 5 or 6 tablespoons. Now we're going to blend this. Alright, while we're waiting for our yeast to finish proofing, I wanted to show you that I have some garden pasta sauce on here. If you guys want to know how to make some garden pasta sauce, you guys can check out last Tuesday's video where I show you take you along as I show you how to make it. And right now we're going to start heating up our oven. So we're going to put this on 420. And we're going to get a nice big baking sheet out. Now I make my pizzas sort of Sicilian style in a baking sheet. And all I do is I take some olive oil. A pretty good dollop. Probably about 1.5 tablespoons. And I just rub that all into the pan. Now we're going to go check out our yeast and see if it's proofing. Alright, our yeast is proofed, which means it's all puffy and all the yeast are alive. And we're just going to go ahead and add this to our flour mixture. And blend it up. Now here's where you check to see if you need more flour or more water. And this is a little bit liquidy. So I'm going to add a little bit more flour. I'm going to do about 1/2 cup. Perfect. As soon as it starts to form together like that, that's what you want. Now this is a little bit softer than a regular gluten dough, so it's still kind of gummy, but it's not liquidy. Alright, here's where things get messy. We're going to dump this onto our pan. Now I'm going to put some olive oil in my hand to keep it from sticking. And we're just gonna spread this out. And I tend to just shape it up to kind of make it a little rectangular if it doesn't fit the whole pan. Just like that, and we're gonna let it sit for probably about 10-15 minutes to let it rise just a little bit. All right, our oven's up to temperature. It's at 420 degrees, and our crust is a little bit puffy. We're just gonna take a fork and poke some holes in it. All right, now we're gonna pre-bake this crust, but before I put it in the oven, I'm gonna teach you a little trick that my grandmother passed down to me, and that is if you don't want a soggy crust, sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on it right before you pre-bake the crust. So that's what we're gonna do. And now we're just gonna put this in the oven for probably about, I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes or so, just until it starts to get a little bit brown. All right, we're just gonna check the crust. It's pretty good. I'll show you. See how it's getting a little bit brown on the bottom? That's what you want. All right, save that for another meal. I have some farmer's cheese made from goat's milk. It's one of the last batches. If you have mozzarella, you can use mozzarella or cheddar cheese, whatever you have on hand. Just went outside and picked some basil and rinsed it off. We're going to add some fresh basil. And I'm just going to tear it. All right, put a little bit more Parmesan on top. My family would kill me if I didn't add meat to the pizza. The whole concept of vegetarian or veganism is totally beyond anything they can comprehend. So we're going to add some pepperoni to this. All right, we're gonna keep it simple tonight. We're just gonna pop this back in the oven for probably about another 10-15 minutes. Looks like it needs another 5 or so minutes. I'm waiting for the top of the crust to get a little bit more brown. I'm gonna put it on 7. All right, Smurf here is gonna check it.
Wow.
What do you think? Do you want a little browner on top?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna put it on broil for just a few seconds until the top gets a little bit brown.
I didn't burn myself.
All right, that's how we do our gluten-free pizza. Now we're not gonna touch this for a little bit because otherwise we're gonna burn our faces off from the sauce and the cheese. We're gonna let it cool down for probably at least a good 20 minutes or so, and then we'll cut it and eat it. But hopefully you guys like this kind of stuff. This is just how we make our pizza. If you guys have any tips or tricks of your own for making gluten-free pizza, leave them down below. If you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. And now you can add whatever oopsie potato. Let's not do that.
I thought you were gonna start singing the Smurf song.
I don't remember your Smurf song.
No. Oh, am I supposed to say something?
Yes.
Bye.
You're a Smurf.